Ready? Shalom, Israel. In the name of our God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shah, we say peace to Israel today. It is a blessed day to be able to be with you again, to bring some more scriptures and some more truth coming from the Bible. Today's subject is going to be entitled, Thou shalt not mix thy seed. And what I mean by thou shalt not mix thy seed is that we should not be dealing with any other nation but ourselves. The 12 tribes of Israel, preferably the tribe of Judah. The Bible tells us that we shouldn't mess with anything or any woman but of the seed of our fathers. But we have people today that say that you can't help who you fall in love with. But that is a lie. That is just some old Christianity doctrine that tell people things to keep them in sin. We see a lot of athletes today, especially in the past NBA draft, where we had a lot of the so-called black brothers that had white women or women of other nations. Even in the corporate business today, we find that our so-called black sisters are surrounded by nothing but so-called white men. But today we are here to give you what thus says our God Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah about who it is that we should be mixing our seed with. We have our sister with us today, Hanaya.
Shalom.
And we have our brother back with us today, Yoram. And we're going to get into our lessons. So if anything else, anybody have anything they want to say or anything? If not, let's get the lesson going.
Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12 and 13. Beware of all whoredom.
Beware of all what?
Beware of all whoredom,
Uh-huh.
my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
It says, chiefly take a seed of our what, brother?
Of thy fathers.
Read.
And take not a strange woman.
And take not a strange woman
to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe.
Which is not of thy father's tribe. We should not take a strange woman to wed. Read on.
For we are the children of the prophets.
We are the children of the prophets. Read.
Knowing Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Uh-huh.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they are married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inhabit the land.
The seed shall inhabit the land. We're going to hear a lot about the seed shall inhabit the land in this lesson today. And that seed, that the land that is talking about is going to be Jerusalem and Judah. Am I right?
That's right.
And so read on, brother.
Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
Love thy brethren.
And despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people.
Take a wife, take a husband from thy father's seed. Read on, brother.
And not taking a wife of them, for in pride is destruction, and much trouble, and in lewdness and decay a great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine.
Lewdness is the mother of famine. What is lewdness? That's just like you might see a woman going up and down the sidewalk or going down the street, and you might ask her for a sexual favor. That's a lewd and lascivious act. That is not something that we should be doing. That's why we should have our own wives and our own husband, so we won't have to have that kind of activity of the mind, so that we would be able to inherit the land that our God give us. Because like I say, in this lesson, it's going to talk a lot about the seed and the land. And so we have to be very, very ill hearing today, Israel, so that we can be able to bring the truth to you, so that you can be unbiased about what we're talking about. Because the Bible does not give you a right to choose whoever it is that you want to have. The Bible gives you the right to obey God's commandments and chiefly choose a wife or a husband of your own kindred. Am I right about it, class?
That's right.
Choose a wife or a husband of your own kindred. Not about how it makes you feel, because it's not about you. It's about what God commanded you. If you want to be able to inherit this land that he gives you, if you want to be able to pass this land on as a heritage to your children and your children's children's children, then you need to take heed to what it is that God is telling us, and take heed how in the book of Tobit that they obeyed the commandments of God. Read what you got, my sister.
First Ezra,
Uh-huh.
chapter 8, verse 69 and 70.
Read.
The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and the Levites
Uh-huh.
have not put away from them the strange people of the land,
They have did not what, sister?
have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
They have disrespected and disobeyed God. They have not put away the strange women of this land. They have not chose a woman of their own kindred. Read.
Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites,
Africans,
Hittites,
Africans,
Perizzites,
Africans,
Jebusites,
Africans,
and the Moabites,
Chinese,
Egyptians,
African,
and the Edomites.
so-called white folks. And see, that's what it's telling us, that we can't be mixing our seed with those people, because those people are not qualified to even have us. The only reason that they are on the top and we are on the bottom is because we continue to what? Be disobedient. We continue to throw the commandments behind our back. We continue not to hear what thus says our God Yahweh. And we want to continue to do things our own way. Until we stop doing things our own way and start obeying our God, we're going to continue to be confronted by these curses. Read on, sister.
For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed.
And the what?
And the holy seed.
See, we are a holy seed. Why are we a holy seed? Because we were chosen by our God. Read.
Is mixed with the strange people.
Is mixed
with the strange people of the land.
Uh-huh.
And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
You see, our governing body, the men that was in charge of us, the rulers, they were the main ones that were doing this. They didn't take heed to anything that the Bible or God was saying, or the commandments were saying to them either. They were in just as much sin as anybody else. As a matter of fact, they were inviting it. So there was no what? There was no ruler. There was nobody that was keeping people in line, because the higher ups, they were just as defiled as the others. And you see, that's what we have to start to understand. We have to have people that is going to be stern with the word of God, that is going to keep his people in line so that they won't be in sin. We ought to have a close relationship with our God. And if we want to have a close relationship with our God, we have to what? Separate ourselves from the other nations, as well as stop sinning. Read what you got, brother.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
In those days also saw I Jews that had married lives,
They had did what, brother?
had married wives
Uh-huh.
of Ashtaroth,
Uh-huh.
of Ammon,
Uh-huh.
and of Moab,
Read.
and their children spake have in the speech of Ashtaroth, and could not speak in the Jews' language,
Read.
but according to the language of each people.
See, what was happening was this. That's why God tell us not to mix our seed with them, because what? It will cause them to turn away from their God. Now it's causing them to turn away from their heritage. It's causing them to turn away from their language, because they can't even speak their language, because their heathen mothers are teaching them the language that speak. And that's why God tell us to separate, not to defile your seed, not to have your seed dealing with people that's not qualified, not to defile anything about you. You are defiling the seed, you are defiling your heritage as well as your temple. Read on, brother.
And I continued with them and caused them,
Curse them.
and smote certainly of them,
Uh-huh.
and plucked off their hair,
Read.
and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
See, he smoked them. That's what he was destroying them. He was killing them. He was doing away with them. It say, and I contended with them and cursed them. He cursed them and smote certain ones of them. See? And plucked off their hair and made them swear. You see? This is what was going on for the disobedience that was going on. And this is Nehemiah talking. Nehemiah had to what? He had to do those things because he was what? He was directed of God to do these things. Read on, brother.
Did not Solomon king of Israel sin by these things?
See, Solomon's supposed to have been the most wisest man in the world. But he was enticed and what? Fell into the same sin as everybody else did. Because what? He wanted to do his own thing. He didn't care about anything, but he was supposed to be the most wisest man in the world. And if you're the wisest man in the world, you ought to know that you should keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on, brother.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God.
God loved him. God trusted him. Read on.
And God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish woman cause to sin.
See, even those outlandish women, those pretty, those supposed to be sexy, those supposed to be so different women, they even called Solomon to sin. Why? Because he lost his protection. God had entrusted him to be what? A role model for the people. To be different than the other people that we just got through reading about, that the leaders and everything, they did the same thing the other people were doing. But he chose Solomon to make a difference and to show a difference. But what did Solomon did? Solomon fell by the wayside. Solomon started to say, looking at these women in lustful ways, and he started to what? He started having them. He started being with them. So Solomon lost a lot of respect from God for those things. Read.
Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil,
Read.
to transgress against our God. It married strange wives.
See? How you gonna be able to listen to somebody? How somebody gonna be able to listen to you when you doing the same thing that you was what ordained to keep them from doing? But now you doing the same thing. So they asking a question. They tell them, they say, shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God in marrying strange women? So it's not about being racist. Or racist is only somebody that care and love his people. But when it comes to the Bible, if you want to call me a racist, you can call me whatever you want to call me. But the Bible tells us specifically that we shouldn't be dealing with these strange women from these other nations, because they would cause you to turn from your God. They would cause you to take the commandments and throw behind your back and have disdain for your God. That's why God was telling, he knew from the beginning what was going to happen. Moses knew from the beginning what was going to happen. All the apostles, everybody, they knew what was going to happen. That's why they was telling us these things. They were witnessing these things when they saw people doing it. But it still didn't do no good. Because the people that they were supposed to be looking up to, they were doing worse than what they were doing. Read what you got, sister.
1 King, chapter 11, verse 1 and 2.
Read, sister.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
He did what?
He loves many strange women.
Read on.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Ooh, with the Egyptian. Read.
Women of Moabites.
The Chinese.
Ammonites.
The Japanese.
Edomites. Sidonians.
Read on.
And Hittites.
Read, sister.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them.
You shall not deal with these people. I've been telling you this for the longest. When are you going to listen to me? Do not deal with these people. Read, sister.
Neither shall they come in unto you.
Read.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto those in love.
You see? He say, what would happen?
Solomon clave unto these in love.
And he say, if you deal with these people, what would happen, sister? What would happen to you?
They will turn away your heart after their gods.
They will start making you serve their God. Making you serve God that our fathers never knew about because of your disobedience. And so we have to make sure that we take heed and get out of self. Because as long as we be in self, it's always, well, I want this. I feel this. You see what I'm saying? It's not about your feelings. It's about these commandments that God has told us as a chosen people to keep these commandments. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3 and 4.
Read, brother.
Neither shall thou make marriage with them.
See, there you go. Every one of these scriptures that we're going to be talking about today is going to be reference to that. We should not take this. We should not take that. We should not take her. We should not take him. We shouldn't do none of these things. Read, brother.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Don't give your daughter to that heathen man. Don't give your daughter that to mess up the seed. Because now when her babies come out, they're going to be heathens. They're going to go into slavery. They're going to go into captivity. Read.
None his daughter shall die taken unto thy son.
See? We shouldn't do none of those things. Read.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
See? What did Solomon do? He started to go on against God. He started to go on dealing with their people. Or everybody else that has been dealing with these strange women, even the children, when they were being taught, they weren't being taught properly. They were being taught the ways of their heathen mothers. They wasn't being taught the way that the Israelite man was. And that's what's going on today. Same thing that was going on then is the same thing that is going on today. You are giving away your heritage because of your lust for strange women. Read.
That they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
Why? Because I'm a jealous God. And thou shalt have no other God before me. That's in the Bible. It's a commandment. And what are they doing? They dealing with these women. They falling in love with these women. And now what? They've been captivated. And when you become captivated, it's like witchcraft. It's like a spell. Now you what? Turn into other gods. Because what? That woman that you're in love with now, that you should be loving, that you should be having these kids by, now you got strong feelings for her. You're in love with her now. So it's not about the commandments now. It's about feelings and emotions. Read on.
And destroy thee suddenly.
He's going to do what?
Destroy thee suddenly.
He say, the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So people think that they are getting away with it. But God is going to judge you no matter where you are. If you living or if you dead, you will be raised back to be judged for all your sins and iniquities. So don't think that you're going to be able to get away with anything, because our God is not a God that he can lie. Our God says that he's a jealous God and that you shouldn't have no other God before him. But what are you doing? You are putting other God. You even putting the women before him, because that's your God now. Because they dictate on what God that you're going to serve. Read what you have, my sister.
Ezra chapter 10, verse 2 and 3.
Read, sister.
And Shechaniah.
And who?
And Shechaniah.
Read.
The son of Jael. One of the sons of Elam. Answer and said unto Ezra. We have trespassed against our Lord, our God, and have taken strange wives of the people of the land.
Of the land. See, Yahweh gave us a land. There was already going to be people there. And if he gives you something, you possess everything that's in that land. But what did they do, Sister Reed?
Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing.
You see, they're supposed to have corrected this. See, read.
Now, therefore, let us make a covenant.
Make a what, sister?
Make a covenant.
Read on.
With our God to put away all the wives.
He didn't say put away a couple of wives. What?
All the wives.
Just 4 or 5 of them.
All the wives.
Read.
And such as are born of them. According to the counsel of my Lord and of those that tremble at the commandment of God.
They're going to obey these commandments. They're trembling at these commandments. They're going to obey the commandments of God. Read.
And let it be done according to the law.
Let everything be governed according to God's laws, statutes, and commandments. They made a covenant with God to not do these things anymore, because they were being governed by what? The commandments. See, Israel, it's not me. I'm just a messenger reading what the Bible is saying. But God has strict things that he's telling you. Because when he said that you were his chosen people, he wanted you to be his chosen people and you own it. Now you are diluting your seed. Even if you do go out there, Israelite man, and have a kid with a white woman, you still diluting the seed. It's not 100. You still diluting the seed, because he ain't gonna look all the way like you. He gonna be looking something like his mama too. God wants us to what? Be all in or not. You can't be funneling around. You got to do what it is that God is requiring us to do. We have special orders as Israelites to do what's pleasing to our God. Read.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 16.
Read, brother.
And thy take of their daughters unto thy sons.
Read.
And their daughters go a whoring after their gods.
Going to do every other thing. Homosexuality, lesbian, they doing a lot of killing. They got a lot of iniquities and sins that are going on because they are following other gods. The same way it is over here today. Everything that we are doing, we learn from what? The nation, the other people, the white people. We didn't learn this stuff from our people. We learned from them. And God is going to punish us because we won't repent and turn from our wicked ways. Read on, brother.
And make thy sons go a whoring after their gods.
See? You're doing like they're doing the same thing that the women doing. You're not taking heed to what God is saying. He's only talking to you. He's not talking to these other people. If he was talking to these other people, he would have gave them the laws. But he didn't give them the laws. They are lawless people. They make their own laws. And so we got to start understanding that these laws are for us. That's why when we disobey them, we go through such turmoil and strife that we go through because what? We are up under a governorship. And his name is Yahweh. Those laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Joshua chapter 23, verse 12.
Read, sister.
And it reads, else ye do any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations.
And cleave unto the little bit of the people that's left. Read.
Even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, they to you.
See, he don't want you messing with them. He don't want them messing with you. Leave them alone. Deal with the people of your own tribe. Deal with your own people. Make your seed strong so that they may be able to what? Have the inheritance of the land. Read.
Now, for a certainty that the Lord your God would no more drive out any of these nations
Read.
from before you. But they shall be snares.
They shall be what?
They shall be snares.
Read.
And traps.
Snares and traps. Nothing good for you. Everything is going to be a trick bag. You put yourself in a trick bag now. Read on, sister.
Unto you. And scourges.
And scourges.
In your side.
What's that? It's a whip to punish you. See? Read.
And thorns in your eyes.
What's them thorns? There's another pain, strife. It keeps you what? Off what you should be doing. Have you worried about what you're going through, the pain and the misery that you're going through because you disobey God? Read.
Until ye perish.
Until you what?
Until ye perish.
See, you're going to die for doing this stuff. You ain't going to be living. You're going to die. That's why people not taking this serious. Read.
From off this good land.
From off the land. Read.
Which ye, your Lord, select. Which the Lord your God hath given you.
See, everything God gave you, He's taking it back, giving it to them. That's what's happening. Yeah. He's taking what you're supposed to inherit it, and He's giving it to them, and now they're gonna rule over you because that's what you chose. Yeah. You chose to serve them strange women. You started serving the other gods and the pagan principles and things that they were doing. So God said, "Okay, I'm gonna give it all to them, and I'm gonna put you." You're going to be in captivity. And so now you're in captivity until this very day. You are in captivity. Why? Because of your disobedience. And it serves you right, Israel, because even today you are continuing to be disrespectful to your God, and He's going to kill you. Read.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 11 and 12.
Read, brother.
Judah have dealt treacherously.
They have dealt what, brother?
Dealt treacherously.
And
an abomination.
They are what?
An abomination.
Read.
Is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah have profaned the holiness of the Lord which he loved, and have married the daughter of a strange god.
What they have done, they have what? profane God's word and the holiness. What is the holiness? It's his seed, it's us. Now you can't tell no different because you're a heathen. You're a Gentile. You're not doing what it is you're supposed to do. And he gave you the best land. He gave you the best of everything. Now you giving it away to someone else. That's just like somebody saying the white man wrote the Bible. When the Bible, what? Condemns that devil. But you want to give him your history book. He's already had it one time and messed you up. You still messed up from it today. Open your eyes and wake up, Israel, and delete these lies and start downloading the truth. Read on, brother.
The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this, the master and the scholar,
the teacher and the pupil. Read.
Out of the tabernacles of Jacob.
Oh, out of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts.
You can't go offer God nothing. You filthy, you foul. How you gonna offer him something when you became filthy and foul against your God by mingling with them dirty, nasty other nations? Every one of them. He didn't say some of them. He said every one of them is filthy and nasty. And I don't want you dealing with them. Do not mix your seed with the other nations. Read what you got, sister.
Acts chapter 17, verse 26.
Read this one, sister.
And hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth. And hath determined the times before appointed.
Read again.
And the bounds of their habitation.
Read that again, sister.
And hath made one blood.
Made one blood, one seed. Read.
All nations of men. For to dwell on all the face of the earth.
On all the face of the earth.
And hath determined the times before appointed. And the bounds of their habitation. The
bounds of your habitation. That means you can't go out of bounds. You got to stay within what it is that you're supposed to be doing. The inhabitants of the land, you're supposed to what? Not be dealing with that what's outside. You're not supposed to be dealing other than what that is that you are of, what your father comes from. That's what this Bible is telling us. But we want to continue to mix our seed. Until what? Until we are destroyed. He said he's going to destroy us. Do you think that God is a liar? Do you think that he's playing? Do you think that when he's come back, he's not going to remember the foulness that you had in your life? The disobedience that you had with the people that he hates? It's written in the book. Read it. Read.
Daniel chapter 2 and verse 43.
Read, brother.
And whereas thy sawest iron mixed with murray clay.
So you can't mix iron with murray clay. Read.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. But they shall not cleave. One to another. Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
What can iron and clay do together but get stuck? You can't form nothing. It can't have no pattern. It's telling you about this seed. What can your seed do with that seed? You got the best seed. Iron is what? Stronger than clay. Our seed is stronger than their seed. We the best at everything. Why do we want to dilute our seed? That's just like going to get 100% alcohol. And then you take a whole glass like this. And then you mix it half. It's going to be less than what it was. And that's the same way it is when we mix our seed with these other nations. It dilutes our strength and causes destruction against us because God is going to kill us. Read, brother.
2 Corinthians chapter 6.
Read, sister.
Verse 14 and 15. Be ye not unequally yoked.
Be what, sister?
Be ye not unequally yoked.
Read.
Together with unbelievers.
Unbelievers.
For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
That's what he was telling you. You have a righteous seed.
Yes.
Not an unrighteous seed. You have righteousness because you've been appointed to commandments. Read.
And what communion have light with darkness?
Nothing. We don't, sister.
And what concord hath Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?
See, an infidel is somebody that don't believe in God. That's what an infidel is. And when you start dealing with these other nations and unbelievers and things like that, you're not going to become a believer still. The further you go off into it, the worse off you're going to be. Until you become what? An unbeliever and an infidel. And then you will surely be put to death. Read.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass.
Let the word earth bring forth what, brother?
Bring forth grass.
Read.
The herb yelling seed.
The herb what?
Yelling seed. And the fruit tree yelling fruit. After its kind.
After what?
Its kind.
After its kind. The same kind, the same seed. It's going to bring best. Read on.
Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so.
You see? He said, and God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind. See? Even the trees obey God. But man can't obey God because they got lust in them. They got lasciviousness in them. They don't care nothing about what God is saying. Read what you got, sister.
Judges chapter 14, verse 3.
Read.
Then his father and his mother said unto him,
talking about Samson. Read.
Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren? Or among all my people?
See, they actually Samson a question. What about your own people? You want this woman and everything, and you want these different women, and Samson already had a wife. But he still wanted them because his read, sister.
That thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised.
Had the uncircumcised what? Their mind wasn't right. Read.
Philistine. And Samson said unto his father, get her for me, for she pleaseth me well.
See, he liked the way he had never even had this woman. But just her appearance. Because his eyes were full of lust. You see? And that's how man is today. That's how our brothers are towards our sisters today. That's how our sisters are today towards our brothers. It's like they think that the brothers and sisters are less than anybody else. When God say that we the best. That's why he telling us to keep our seed away from these other people. Because when he coming to destroy, he's coming to destroy man, woman, and children. Read.
Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12.
Read, my brother.
Now, therefore, give not your daughters unto their sons.
Now, do what?
Give not your daughters.
Give not your daughters
unto their sons.
Until their sons.
Neither take their daughters unto your sons, nor seek their peace or their wealth forever, that ye may be strong and eat the good of the land.
That you may be strong and do what, brother?
And eat the good of the land. And leave it for inheritance to your children forever.
And see what I'm saying? If you're not dealing with them people, if you dealing with your own kind, he say what? You're going to be strong.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? You're going to be strong. And when you're being strong, he said you're going to eat the good of the land. And when it's time for you to go and see him, that you're going to leave it to your children. And your children is going to leave it to their children. And it's going to be yours for an heritage forever. But we don't want to do that. We like to give things away. We like to say, oh, I forgive. Every time somebody go out there and kill 1 hour people, what they do when they get on TV? Well, I forgive them. Have you ever heard anybody forgive one of us for when we did something or killed one of them? No, because they hate us. But we love them. And we hate ourselves. Read what you got, sister.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4.
Read.
Marriage is honorable.
Marriage is honorable.
In all.
In all.
And the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
See, you're a whoremonger and you're an adulterer. When you go out there and you start dealing with the other nations. Don't matter about you going through some kind of white man ceremony. What did God say? God say they are what? They are nothing. And what? Now you going out there, you dealing with, now you becoming a whoremonger? And a what? And an adulterer. Why are you becoming an adulterer? Because you don't have your Hebrew sister or Hebrew brother that you laying in the bed and went in marriage with. That's why. Because you continue to want to be like Samson. You want to continue to go by the lust of your eyes and the feelings of your loins. That's what you're thinking. And that's why God gonna kill you. See what he did to Samson? Samson got tortured and everything. Even though he did something that God wanted him to do, he still got tortured, got blind and everything. And died. He might have killed 3,000 or 4,000. But he still died in the rubble. Why? Because of disobedience. Can't be disobedient and think God is gonna bless you. It's not gonna happen, Israel. Get your life together. Start coming back to your brothers and your sisters so you can be able to inherit the land that God is getting ready to give us when he come back and form the New Jerusalem. Read what you got.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 15.
Read, brother.
And did not he make one, yet had he the residue of the Spirit.
See, read that again, brother.
And did not he make one?
Did not he make one? Read.
Yet had he the residue of the Spirit.
Of the Spirit. Read.
And wherefore one. That he might seek a godly seed.
That he might seek what, brother?
A godly seed.
That he might seek a godly seed. What is a godly seed? The one that's up under the law, statutes, and commandments. The one that is doing what he's supposed to be doing with his own kind, from his father's tribe. Read.
Therefore, take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth.
Don't deal treacherously with your sisters. Marry your sisters.
That's right.
Marry your brothers.
That's right.
You dealing treacherously with them when you going out there, you dealing with other nations and stuff. God say don't do it. He said don't deal treacherously with the wife of what? Of your youth. Your same seed. That's what he's talking about.
That's right.
Read what you got.
Numbers chapter 36, verse 7 and 8.
Read, sister.
So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel
Uh-huh.
remove from tribe to tribe.
Read that again from the top, sister.
So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe.
From tribe to tribe.
For every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers.
Of the tribe of who?
The tribe of his fathers.
And the Bible said that they should keep their what?
Keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers.
Keep themselves to the heritage of the tribe of their fathers. Read on, sister.
And every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the tribe of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father.
See, he's saying it again. See, he don't change. God ain't changing. Somebody else changing that. That white devil is changing this stuff to keep you in sin, because once upon a time, he would kill you if he caught you messing with his people. But now he see that you still gonna die. What? He don't mind now. See? Read, sister.
That the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers.
See? Read 9, sister.
9. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe.
Read.
But every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance.
Your own inheritance is your own people. Read.
Even as the Lord commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zephaniah.
You see? He's telling us that. All do. Your father's seed. He didn't say your mother's seed. He said your father's seed. Because you are what your father is.
That's right.
He's telling us over and over and over, but the church won't preach this.
Nope.
The church ain't gonna preach you nothing but tithes.
Yep.
God loves everybody. All you gotta do is say, God, forgive me, and he'll forgive you, and you let the church lie to you. You let the church lie to you about tithes because your living conditions is the same way when you start paying tithes. So whether you pay it or not, your house is gonna be cursed if you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read, brother.
Job chapter 14, verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean?
What did the Bible say, brother? Read that again.
Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean?
How in the world that you're going to mix your seed with somebody that's filthy, that's defiled, that's already an abomination, and something good is going to come out of it? You cursing your children, even though they might be yours, you stealing your children, because they're going to be cursed too. Because God, like I say, he's coming back and he's going to kill young and old. It don't make no difference unless you repent of your wicked ways and come back to the one true God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh. You don't have no chance. Read what you have, sister.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 1 and 2.
Read.
Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands.
See, they have not, they still doing it. They still haven't stopped doing it. Read.
Doing according to their abominations.
According to their abominations, their own ways. Read.
Even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites,
read on,
the Jebusites, and the Ammonites, and the Moabites, and the Egyptians, and the Amorites.
Read.
For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and the rulers have made chief in this trespass.
See, they did it. They still doing it. Read that last part again for the sister.
For they have taken of their daughters for themselves
Uh-huh.
and for their sons, so that the holy seed mingled themselves,
mixed themselves
with the people of those lands,
with the people of the land that God gave them to possess. Like I say, when He gives you something to possess, it's like He gave you this land, so everything in the land belongs to you. So them people that you possess, they're not qualified to be sleeping, having kids from you. You own them people. They like animals to you. Read on, sister.
Yea, the hand of the princes
and rulers
have been chief in their trespass.
They were the main ones in there. They condoned it. They didn't do anything about it to stop it. So I tell you today, Israel, wake up, delete these lies, and download the truth. And with this we say, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, death to America, and peace to Israel.